Hi, everybody. Katie here. And today I'm doing a scrapbooking process video of a picture of my mom and one of my good friends, Virginia. So, those were the pictures of them that I want to scrapbook today. And I've selected some papers. I just need to decide which ones I want to use for this layout. I really love those arrows, though. I think they're absolutely adorable. And then that paper where it's kind of ombre, I like that as well. So I am going into my cardstock scrap section. I just have some a binder and some page protectors, and I just throw my scraps in there by color. Makes it easy for me. So here, I was not paying attention when I was cutting, and I cut it 4x6, which of course that's not going to work when I have a 4x6 picture. So I just threw it off to the side and went ahead and trimmed down the second piece for matting and just grabbed a new piece of cardstock for that first picture. Sometimes it happens, it's a 4x6, it's 4x6, and then you forget that you need to trim it a little bit larger than that. So I went ahead and I matted the photos down. So basically, with these pictures, my good friend Virginia, I'm originally from New Orleans, and my good friend Virginia flew to New Orleans for a Beachbody convention. And my mom still lives there, and she found out that Virginia was going to be in New Orleans. So, although she has actually never met Virginia, she went to the airport to pick her up. So, that's why she's holding a sign that says Virginia, since they had never met, so Virginia could find her. So, she picked her up from the airport. They went and had lunch and went and had beignets and went to City Park. And then my mom brought Virginia to her hotel room. So, I think that was pretty scrapworthy. It can show future generations the type of person my mom was, which is she's not going to let you spend money on a taxi cab when she's right there. So they seem to have a good time. So I decided that I'm going to use strips of the pattern paper for this layout. I just kind of like the way they kind of go, and I haven't really used skinny strips in a while, so I figured why not? I will give it a go. Now, this piece of paper has so many strips, a different variety already there, that I knew I was going to use one of them. I just wasn't sure which one yet, because since they weren't cut down, I couldn't put them next to the paper to see which ones I wanted to use. So I just go ahead and I use my paper trimmer to cut a few of the strips out so I can then put them next to my photos and my other paper and see which ones I want to use. So I do want to use that pink one because I think it's neat. And then the blue polka dotted one. I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want my photo to go. And I think that looks good. So I'm going to just go ahead and trim those pieces up so they will line up with the ombre piece that I already have down. Go ahead and just glue those down to the paper. So another big thing happened this weekend while I was scrapbooking and getting a massage. My son, who is 17, he got his first car on Saturday. So that's pretty exciting. So I'm pretty sure we'll have a first car page coming soon. Him and his dad went. And so my 17-year-old son is now the proud driver of a 2003 Honda Accord. The car is just a couple years younger than he is, but that's okay because it's his first car. And we are very proud of the fact that he was able to save enough money to buy it. So now I am taking out my embellishments that I decided I wanted to use on this page and just kind of figuring out how I want them. When I first started scrapbooking, I tended to just glue stuff down without first figuring out exactly where I wanted it. And that did cause some very interesting situations. And some pages ended up just being torn apart and redone over and over again because I didn't like the way it came out. So after a few years of doing that, I decided, why don't I just put everything down before I glue it and make sure I like the way it looks? And so now I've been doing that for a few years and it seems to work much better for me. Even if sometimes I play around maybe a little too long with the exact placement. And my husband always says, you measure twice and cut once. And I'm like, well, yeah, that would be a good thing to do. So I have this little tag and then this itinerary. I just saw that and said, oh, this is perfect for this page to put those together. And as far as a title goes, I didn't really have a good title. I was thinking something airport theme, but instead of doing that, I just let the words and my embellishments become the title, which is Hello, Lovely, You're So Fancy. And I thought that worked since Virginia was getting picked up at the airport by someone holding a sign that had her name on it, like all the other fancy people in the world. So that little round embellishment ends up giving me a little trouble. So I have to kind of move it around, get it glued down. Now, I do use my Stampin' Dimensionals on some of these pieces to give the page a little more dimension and lift. If you're watching my other videos, you know that I'm a big fan of Stampin' Dimensionals. I mean, you can use glue dots. There's all sorts of different products that give you the same effect. I just like the Stampin' Dimensionals because to me, they're just so easy to use. And I was introduced to them through Stampin' Up, and I just keep buying them over and over and over again. So here I did put the Stampin' Dimensionals down, but before I put it down, I realized I hadn't journaled on there yet, so that's not going to work. So I go ahead and use my Stampin' Dimensionals. I put my little embellishment cluster down. And I love it. And the pineapple I actually cut out from there. I had a paper pack, then it just had a pineapple on one of the pages. So I just fussy cut that out to put it there. And the reason I used a pineapple is because in the South, the pineapple is a sign of hospitality. And things of pineapples, they're everywhere. It's a pretty neat tradition. And although pineapples are pretty popular right now, the fact that it signifies hospitality and my mother was being very hospitable to my friend Virginia, I thought it would fit good. So I have that little label and I'm just not sure where I'm going to use it yet. And another thing, something was on my hands. I don't know, on white cardstock, if there's anything on your fingers, it transfers to the page. So I just use a white eraser and erase those little smudge marks off. So now I'm going to put one of the button stickers that I got from my hip kit that says adventure on the top of the little itinerary ticket there. I think it goes pretty good. A little heart on the corner. That's also came from Hip Kit. I'm starting to look through some of my 12 by 12 stickers and other things to see if there's anything I want, and I'm not sure. So now I start looking through just my binder of stickers. I tend to just put them in there. It just makes it, when things are organized for me, it just makes it easier to scrapbook. Instead of digging, I can just look. So now I'm trying to figure out what page I want to be my border. And I'm thinking the pink, but no. And I end up going with the yellow stripes. I really actually like it a lot. I need more of that paper, to be honest. Glue it down a little more. And then I realized that on the top picture of my mom, I'm not really liking the way that looks. It just looks incomplete to me. So using the yellow striped border from that page, I went and just cut it down. And then I am going to put it behind that top picture, which then kind of frames it out. And since I did that, I start looking for more embellishments to do a little third cluster up top. So I did finally get to use that label I was looking to use earlier. and I find another sticker that says happy in pink, which I really like. And then a little candy dot from Shamil, I believe, I put on the side just to balance it all out. I did end up putting little banners on the underneath there too, which I actually didn't video, but you will see them in a picture. Well, here it is. That's my scrapbook page. So if you like this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, please be sure to subscribe. If you want, we can interact and hang out and talk on Instagram. I'll leave a link below to my Instagram account. And other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day creating something beautiful.